following show is for entertainment purposes only and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of Empire Media LLC, its subsidiaries, affiliates, sponsors, and advertisers.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Motor City Uncut, episode 142, presented by the Major Sports Network Detroit on our new time. Sundays at 6-ish. 6 p.m. is what we aim to be on. Going live here at about 6:10. It's a little bit behind schedule, but nonetheless, we promise to deliver an hour of invigorating sports talk content as far as we go. So,
Keep going.
Yeah, I know. Sean's experiencing some audio. He can't hear us.
Yeah, I can't hear you at all.
All right, we'll take him off for now. There's nothing else going on but us. So we'll.
It's because you're plugged into the wrong. I didn't plug it in. It's been like that since I got here.
All right. Anyway, on tonight's top show, as if you're watching us on any of the live streaming sources here tonight. Primary topic of discussion is fire sale, fire sale, fire sale. Everything must go, and that is for both the Detroit Tigers and the Detroit Pistons. We're going to talk about that tonight, and also just kind of what the WTF or the Red Wings doing, seemingly in a rudderless organization right now, as their offseason moves don't really make any sense to me. I'm hoping that our hockey guy here, Adam, can maybe set me straight on them. So, without further ado, we're going to get right into it. So we're going to jump right into that last topic that I discussed with the Red Wings. Are they a rudderless organization? Why I pose that to you is kind of just the offseason activity so far. Just kind of who they chose to protect in the expansion draft. Ultimately, they got the biggest gift of all of taking just Thomas Nosek. Whatever. But at the same time, you've gone out and added a guy that's not going to make your team for some quote grit, and a defenseman who's probably going to be a number 5 here, paying just over $3 million, will probably be your fifth defenseman on this team. And your defensive core is already bad, and he's going to be your number 5. So yeah, I just don't get it. Are we rebuilding, or are we just making a run for the 8th seed just to restart that playoff streak? This first year in a new arena, and we're worried about that kind of crap.
Do you want to hear?
Yes, I would just set me straight on this, please.
Well, first and foremost, I mean, and this is completely their own doing here, but they don't have cap space right now to be going out and making
I don't disagree with you.
Shit ton of moves. So there's that. Well, actually, if you want to start off with with who they protected and who they didn't protect, look, I'm right there with you. I would have preferred them protecting Mrazek over Jimmy Howard.
Mm-hmm. They got lucky there.
That would have.
And also, who they protected in the blue line too, kind of left me scratching my head as well. Leaving a guy exposed. I think the world of Xavier Ouellet in exchange for Nick Jensen.
Look, Xavier Ouellet is very good. Well, he's not very good. He's good.
He's quite good.
He's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call him quite good. Okay. I'm just gonna say he's good. But you know what? We're screwing around with semantics right now. So who cares? The big one was obviously Peter Mrazek not being protected. And I didn't think he was going to go. Look, he makes $4 million.
Only on a one-year deal.
Yep, on a one-year deal. He's going to be a restricted free agent after this upcoming season. So he's going to be adding, depending on how he does this year, so many couple of million. But
with the carry price extension here, a cost of a goalie of Peter Mrazek's ilk just went up a couple $1 million with the price extension.
Yeah, so I mean, the Red Wings are going to have to they're going to again have to make another decision on their goaltending situation after this season, whether that's getting rid of Jimmy Howard or sticking with Peter Mrazek, because this season right now is an important one for both of them. You know what? It's going to determine who's going to be the starting goaltender of the Red Wings beyond next season. But what it told me right here and now is that obviously Jimmy Howard is going to be the starting goaltender at the beginning of the season, and whatever you may think about that, that's fine. But the long and short of it is Jimmy Howard was a better goaltender than Peter Mrazek last year.
Oh, absolutely.
That's just the fact.
But I'm going to counter that though. Isn't your assembling your expansion draft protect no protect list? Isn't that more about the long term interest of the franchise rather than the immediate shortcoming, especially when you're not a legitimate cup contender in the following season, and you don't expect to be, and you don't have the space or players to maneuver into cup contention immediately? Don't you think you protect the long term interest over just the short term?
I think what Ken Holland is telling you right now is what this organization currently thinks about Peter Mrazek. That's what they're telling you right now. I think
it's a public fuck you.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you're also hearing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes too, that about Peter Mrazek's attitude and so on and so forth. So that there's all these different items here that is contributing to Peter Mrazek not getting protected during the expansion draft. And this is something that the league is going to have to deal with, expansion draft in general, probably in another couple of years.
They have to do it again.
Yeah.
Because you're in an odd number of teams right now.
31 teams are going to add a 32nd team. It
probably won't be till 2020.
Probably. And it's probably going to be Seattle or Quebec City.
I would hope it'd be Quebec City.
I'm hoping it is too. But that's that. As far as the draft goes, I was so on the draft. I really didn't. I thought that they took some gambles here early on, and I didn't think they needed to. That Gustav Lidstrom guy, I didn't think that they needed to draft that high.
I don't pay attention to the whole hockey prospect scouting game like I do the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Most people had Gustav Lidstrom as like a 5th or 6th round guy, and they took him in the top of the second. I
was hearing more 4th or 5th, but
even so, they took him at the top of the second round.
Yeah, I
guess I would qualify them more as the middle. But
I thought that they could have definitely waited on him. However, I'm going to give Hakim Hakan Anderson the benefit of the doubt when it comes to a guy like that, considering that's probably the guy who was scouting him, and he's the guy that got you a bunch of other Swedish players in the past. He's their top European scout. So the Red Wings have done very well in the past when it comes to their European scouting. I'm willing to give this one a whirl and see how it goes. I was more concerned, though, beyond that with their, I believe it was the 3rd and 4th round guys that they got.
Yeah.
A couple of OHL guys that really are probably going to be 3rd or 4th liners once they do make it up to the NHL. I thought their best pick was the goaltender they got. I was really impressed with him. He certainly seems like he could be a future starting goaltender for them. And then their last pick as well, their last 2 picks, they got another big defenseman who they're taking a chance on, who probably could have gone, maybe the 2nd round if he didn't have the injury problems he did last season.
And when you're picking a guy like that in the 6th or 7th round in any sport, if you get anything from them at all, it's a plus.
Yeah, and
that's where you take those kind of those risks and those chances. And you know what? If he doesn't turn out to be anything, oh well, whatever. And if he does, look good. You got 2nd round value in the 7th round.
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. But as far as free agency goes, like I said, they don't have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to the cap.
Then why do you spend what little wiggle room you have on a Trevor Daley.
Because I think what the Red Wings might be doing right now is they might be taking a gamble in terms of who's going to be landing on the long-term injured reserve. I think right now the thought is that Nicholas Kronwall might end up on the long-term injured reserve. I think that may be the suspicion right now.
That they're going to have another Johan Franzen style situation where he plays out his days as on the long-term IR.
It could be. I mean, people have to realize right now that Nicholas Kronwall's knees.
I thought it was his hips that were bad.
No, his knees. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure his hips are bad. Probably.
I mean, all
too.
hockey players' hips are bad.
I mean, it's probably one of those. It's probably one of those injuries where his hips are starting to go because he's compensating for his knees. But that may be the suspicion right now with Nicholas Kronwall, and if that's the case,
you're going to suck anyway. Let a young player play.
Well, if that's the case, then the Trevor Daley deal is actually pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? I don't mind Trevor. You got decent value for Trevor Daley.
No, the average.
You're not overpaying for a player of his skill set, his talents. But at the same time, if you're not going to compete, I could do a 1 year, $2.5 or $3 million. Because they signed him for what, 3.1?
3 years. 3 years. It's like
$9 million, just over $9 million, something like that. I could take a 1 year commitment to a guy like that, but a 3 year commitment, I think that's quite not in the best interest of the organization. Because then you know what, you're stuck with a guy potentially. Yeah, you may be negating if Nicholas Kronwall's done, but at the same time, with the amount that you've invested in your young defenseman in the draft recently, those guys are going to need roster slots pretty soon, and they're going to be stuck with a guy aging Trevor Daley after age 30. What, he's 34 now?
He's going to be 34 at the start of the season.
He'll be 34 at the start of the season. You'll be having a guy who's post prime, who wasn't all that great to begin with, blocking their path to the NHL.
Well, look, we're just the thing is we're talking 1 year right now on this, because Trevor Daley he's going to give you at least 2 good years, probably.
Fair, and at the same time, Mike Green's also free agent at the end of the year, and if I'm Mike Green, I ain't sticking around here.
Yeah, probably not. Look, I think people look at the Trevor Daley deal and they want to tear it apart just because the Red Wings didn't have a good year last year. I think that's a lot of the case right now.
I think it's just to me, just on the surface, without going into the deep dive, it just seemed to me like a move that says we're okay with being stagnant.
Well, the thing is Daley's a top 2 pairing guy.
Okay.
I mean, what else? I mean, there's other deals in there right now that I would that aren't looking so hot based on what.
You can just give $80 million to a 30-year-old goaltender either. So I'm pretty okay with that.
Well, the Shattenkirk deal is making some of these other deals on the wings look pretty shitty. I'm talking the Danny DeKeyser deal, and I'm looking.
What did Shattenkirk just sign for?
Oh my god,
I missed it.
Was it 24?
That's it.
I think so. Yeah.
Like 4 and 24.
Something like that. You might want to go ahead and bring it up. But yeah, it's a good deal.
Yeah, it is.
Did you find it?
4 years, just under. It's 6.65, so 26.6 million over 4.
Okay, so I was off by $1 million and some.
But the fact that you got Shattenkirk for less than 6 years and less than $7 million annual average value, that's in New York, where your tax rate in New York City is fucking retardedly high.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
That's a freaking steal.
It's a good deal. I think the Montreal Canadiens though are look, Mark Bergevin is doing a terrible job right now with that team. The questionable trades that he's made so far, especially the PK Subban one, and then, I mean, look, Carey Price.
10 years, $84 million extension?
He's going to be getting over. He has an average annual value of over $10 million, and that's your goaltender for
10 and a quarter.
Yeah, And
you're really, really, really banking on that salary cap exploding.
Look, Carey Price is a good goaltender. He's one. You know what? Carey Price is an elite goaltender in the league right now.
Oh, don't doubt it.
But
I wouldn't fight you on that one.
I mean, what has Carey Price won you
Diddly squad
in the playoffs? And that's what the Montreal Canadiens are looking at right now. What has Carey Price won you in the postseason? Not much. Not much at all. And that's a tough town to play in, too. I mean, Montreal is...
Especially as a good old Canadian boy.
Yeah, Montreal is the New York of the NHL in terms of... I mean, you got Montreal, you've got Toronto.
You get the aggressive... Well, it's the New York media culture.
Exactly.
Canadian version of New York media culture.
It's tough. It's tough. But I think that's what we're looking at right now with the Red Wings. And look, I'm not happy in the place that they're in right now, and I'm not happy in the place that they're in because of. But it's not because of Trevor Daley.
No,
it's because,
I can't be mad at Trevor Daley. It's probably the best offer he got, and you know what, you take it. But at the same time, I have to ask now: was Ken Holland ever really a great general manager, or did he just have the deepest pockets and can make up for any mistake he had?
I think
because honestly, man, take a deep look. What has he done in the cap era?
Well, in the cap era, he did win you a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, the first year. Was it the first year of the cap era? Or second year?
First or second, yeah. So he's got a Stanley Cup to his credit. Look, I'm not making any arguments. I'm not going to try to defend Ken Holland too much here. Look, the past few years, in terms of contracts and everything, I think contracts has been the thing that's killed Ken Holland the most here. As far as some of these draft picks go, I think you still have to give them a little bit more time.
You know what? I'm not mad about the draft, and people are right when they say when you're constantly picking 25th or later, you ain't going to end up with a whole hell of a lot. And they're right.
And maybe that's what's catching up to them.
But don't
right
compound
now.
that mistake by taking that talent and giving it 4 or 5 year deals.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you, and that's where we run into the problems here with Ken Holland. Is I think he's been atrocious these past few years when it's come to dishing out these contracts. Look, Danny DeKeyser is slowly looking like a bad deal. Jonathan Ericsson has been a bad deal. Johan Franzen, bad deal. But at the same time, though, you've got to...
You know what? I can't be mad at the Franzen deal because at the time, that was the going rate, and quite frankly, it was looking like you were going to get a steal.
It does. And you know what? You made the wrong decision there. You had the choice.
Lost.
You had the choice between Johan Franzen and Marian Hossa, and you made the wrong decision.
Yeah, but at the same time, Marian Hossa was also having to retire because he's allergic to his equipment.
That's this year, though.
Yeah, I know that's this year.
And that's not for certain yet. He's going to miss all of this season, but he's in his late 30s.
Late 30s,
so,
it's effectively retirement.
Yeah, so you might as well start drawing up those retirement papers. But like I said, that's where we're at with the Red Wings right now. Look, it's probably going to be another tough season next year.
Yeah,
it probably is.
And I've got another thing to run by you here. Is the Trevor Daley signing possibly a indication that they look to trade Mike Green before or during the season?
It's too early to tell. I think that he gives you that option now.
Because you got poor man's Mike Green. That's what Trevor Daley is. If you look at the advanced metrics, he's a pretty shit player.
What advanced metric in hockey?
Yeah. If you look at the advanced metrics, my understanding of them, based on what I can, absorb.
You know who Trevor Daley is?
Yeah, I do know who Trevor Daley is.
No, I'm asking. I know. I'm saying that in a different sense.
Okay. Yeah, he's a bad 5-on-5 player, but he's a quality player on the power play.
He's a more evolved Xavier Ouellet.
There you go.
That's what Trevor Daley is. He's a more evolved Xavier Ouellet. And look, what the Wings may have to do right now is keep in mind too. They have to re-sign Thomas Tatar, Athanasiou, and what's the other one? Shit, who am I missing?
Mantha's the year after.
Yeah.
I mean, you can RFA Larkin for a little bit.
I think it's Ouellet. I think it's Ouellet.
X-Man, yeah.
Yep. They have to sign all three of those players. I'm assuming they're going to re-sign all three of those players. All three of them are restricted free agents, too.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get them signed, but you may see a corresponding deal happen
in order to make
in order to dump cap space.
Because according to, I looked at Cap Friendly this morning, they only have after the daily signing, have $3.6 million available.
I'm not quite sure though how the Johan Franzen long-term.
Well, the long-term IR, because you have to be cap compliant on day one of the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put guys on long-term IR till then.
Yeah.
So they have to be cap compliant first without being able to dump Franzen on long-term IR.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be 3.9 under. And then you can add that at that point. So you can get relief for it once the season starts, but you can't build your roster preseason using that space.
Yeah. So who knows? I mean, the Red Wings are probably done adding guys.
What is the penalty for not being cap compliant day one?
Oh my God, I don't know. That's the Philadelphia Flyers. I think they've ran into that problem before in the past.
Really?
I'm not positive.
I'd have to look into that. But I'd be interested in knowing. Because I think it's pretty sure in the NFL it's forfeit your draft class.
Is it?
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, you lose in the entirety of your next draft class. You forfeit it if you're not cap compliant. But at the same time, they've all got unguaranteed deals and they can become cap compliant in 5 minutes if they choose to.
Yeah.
So.
Huh. What ifs?
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out if the Red Wings aren't cap compliant by the time early October rolls around, so.
All right, so is that it? Shawn, I know, sorry.
It's all good.
Oh, I know you don't do hockey, and you've never done hockey. I shouldn't have led the show off with
it's all good.
a nice 20-minute silence from you.
It's perfect because I'm doing research, so.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Doing some R&D?
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. Time to auction off the remaining pieces of the Detroit Tigers. They are currently 36-45 after their loss today to the Indians. That is their worst mark at the halfway point. Today is the halfway point. Since 2003. 2003, they lost 119 games. They're also 16 games worse than 2003 at this point. So, their attendance is also at a 12-year low. Lowest since 2004. How much lower is that going to go?
Oh, shit.
TV ratings are tanking. How much worse is it going to get? Let's just play ratings and attendance figures here. How much worse is it going to get in that regard if the Detroit Tigers do a fire sale here at the deadline?
I don't think it's going to get much worse.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't it at this point everybody's already bought their tickets, and so what?
Pretty much. It's really, I don't see a big difference in us watching us be horrible and then actually bringing in people who are just not good to play anyways. So what's the difference?
And here's the deal: it's not like the Detroit Tigers have a loaded AAA squad where,
right.
You know what, you could sell the fans on, we cleared the way. Here come the kids. They're
Mm-hmm.
exciting. Come watch them. It's, oh my God, our AAA team is full of a bunch of rejects.
Yeah.
Crap. What are we going to throw out there?
Did Shawn fill you in yet on what we're gonna do?
No. What are we doing?
Well, you got to come with us.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Because
What have you guys signed me up for?
well,
We didn't sign you up for anything.
No.
You're doing it.
yeah, you got to come with us.
That would involve signing me up for something.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that we're assuming that Tebow is going to get the call up here.
No, I'm not going to.
Pretty
the series in September
pretty
against
soon.
the Mets.
No. No.
No, there's no game against.
Yeah.
Like, is there a series against the
No.
Tigers?
No,
I don't
not
think
that I know.
So they're playing the NL West this year. I don't think there would be.
But they're going to be there's going to be a game in Cincinnati or Chicago against the Mets sometime in, when was it, Shawn?
September.
I think one was in August, and the other one was sometime in September, I think, or maybe both in August.
It's going to have to be in September because there's no way in flipping hell that Tim Tebow's going to take a 25-man roster spot. If he's coming up, it'll be in the expanded roster period.
So we're going to
basically kidnap you, and you're going to go.
We're going to Cincinnati or Chicago to go.
Yeah,
see
and
Tim.
you have to go. You have to go, and then we're going to record a segment while we're there of you enjoying the game and watching Tim.
Hey,
Tebow.
you know what? The Mets at least came out this week and admitted that the whole thing was a publicity stunt.
Yeah, that's
And the
no
only
doubt
reason it was
about
promoted is because the owner of the Port St. Lucie Mets was like, "Please, I need some asses and seats. Give me Tebow."
See,
Exactly.
I don't think anybody's ever denied the fact.
The minor leagues are king of the shameless promotion.
Look, the thing is, I don't think anybody was ever denying something like that.
They openly admitted it this time. That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad. And yeah, who cares? I think it's great.
I know, and I'm pumped up for it.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so awesome going there and seeing Tebow.
Yeah, a gamer, a baller, a playmaker, and a shot caller.
I don't have it up right now.
We already bought you a shirt, so and you have to wear it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You just have to wear it.
This is America. I do what I want. You don't have to pull it up.
Oh yes, we do. No, we have to. It's a must. If it doesn't happen, then he's not doing his job correctly.
Pull what up?
Yeah. Oh, come on. Anytime now. I've stalled for you this long.
He's a baller. He's a playmaker and a shot caller. In case you didn't know, I got Tebow. He shatters the mold, and all he does is win.
Sean, you just swing it. Just actually sing it.
I got Tebow.
Why?
Don't just mumble it into the microphone. Say it.
No, I'm lip syncing. All right. Maybe I want to go on TV and do it.
You want to be on
LL
lip sync
Cool J,
challenge with LL Cool J?
Heck yeah.
And do the
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow song?
Heck yeah.
He's a gamer.
That would be hilarious, actually.
I don't think it would be.
I think it would be amazing.
It's bad.
And then I'd have Tim Tebow surprise him and come out in the background.
Say that to my face. I can. Yes. I do believe that, I don't blame you for taking the opportunity, but I'm pretty sure the only reason you're here is a classic minor league publicity stunt. Like, blank, insert blank here.
He's
Jersey
making
Day,
money, so he doesn't care.
Dollar hot dog day. Thirsty Thursday.
And didn't he, his first game in Port St. Lucie,
Port
didn't he
St.
hit a
Lucie
home
hit
run?
a dinger and then he robbed somebody of a home run
Yeah.
the other night.
Uh-oh. Is this going to be a new version of, a movie of Disney for, The Rookie? They're going to have one for Tim Tebow?
Probably.
Instead of,
They're probably
instead of it had Dennis Quaid, as I can't remember the pitcher for Tampa Bay.
So who would play Tim Tebow in a movie?
Tim Tebow?
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow would play Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
He just does it all because all he does is win.
Except it was
Make me play it again.
eighth on his team and eighth on his low A team in batting average and OPS, and yet he got promoted and none of the rest
Dorf,
of them did.
stop trying to ruin this for everybody.
I know, man. Just have some fun.
I am no fun. You guys should know that.
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
Just have fun. Have fun with it.
yeah.
Have fun at the possibility that we're going to see Tim Tebow playing in Queens
Yeah.
for the New York Mets.
Yeah.
Just have fun with it.
No, I'm the Grinch.
If he
I am the
shows up,
Grinch.
they all will come.
Buy the jersey shirt with us.
Yes.
Get a Mets hat. And
Yeah.
just live
I'm
it
not
up.
going to get a Mets hat.
You have to.
Live it
I
up.
would buy the jersey shirt with you if he makes it there.
Oh,
Fine,
you will.
I will buy the jersey shirt with you.
Okay,
Oh,
But
it is
I am not
on. It's recorded now that he
You
has.
have it recorded.
He
It
has
doesn't
to
mean
buy
I
it now.
will wear it more than once, but I will buy the jersey shirt with you.
Oh man.
Can you get a size small in the jersey shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll fit over my right arm.
Okay, you get a medium. All right.
Yeah, an extra medium.
And then you actually have to wear it to the game that we go to.
Sean, that's not going to fit over my shoulders.
There's a belly shirt. We'll go, Tim
It wouldn't even get that far. It would never. I would never be able to get my arms into it without ripping it in half. Hulk smash. I don't think I'd be able to get into a size XL without that happening.
Can you Hulk Hogan it?
Yeah.
If it when we're there, if
Hulkamania.
if he hits a home run, just stand up and start ripping it off.
And then we start playing
This is the
Hulkamania
worst
song.
$30 I've ever spent.
Actually, we're playing All He Does Is Win instead of the Hulkamania song.
Okay.
Where are we at?
Yeah,
I don't
even
know.
know where we're at now.
Tigers suck. Fan support blows. The Mets are about to do a publicity stunt that the Tigers may need to follow suit on in order to put asses in seats.
They don't have anybody though
Yeah.
to bring up like that. Maybe they should have went out and gotten Tim
I think
Tebow.
Yeah.
maybe they should go call Tracy McGrady and see what he's doing.
I'm down with that. I'd be
Pitch
super
out of
excited.
Okay, do it.
And then, call Michael Jordan. He played.
How about let's do a reunion tour? What's Kenny Rogers doing?
Oh,
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Carlos Guillen?
Let's get Maglio.
Hey,
Let's go find
call Maglio. See if he can fit in his busy schedule of being a mayor in a town
Yeah.
in a failed state.
Or we can have like Shane Halter come out. Damian Easley.
I didn't say it like the
Get some
2003 era
David
Bad
Cruz
News Bears.
going. I bet Dean Palmer's not doing anything. Well, what about Chris Shelton? I'm pretty sure he's still probably.
Big Red. Oh,
he's
Robert Fick.
Oh, there we go. And then you might as well, if we're bringing Robert Fick, you might as well call Jeff Weaver back too.
Bobby Higginson.
Oh, Bobby, yeah, we got Bobby out there.
can we at least address the shit that Brad Ausmus is still managing this team?
Yeah.
Oh God,
I mean, can we just?
I kind of wonder how much longer. Although you've seen a bunch of the Airfingers quote insiders here in the Detroit media market over the last week or so say, "Oh yeah, he's not in danger at all."
how isn't he in danger? Makes no sense.
It doesn't. It's absolutely just mind-boggling. I mean, I still can't get over like a radio appearance like 3 weeks ago where he had the balls to say that batting order doesn't matter because everybody gets about the same amount of at-bats per season. For the love of fucking God, just look at the math. Every spot you move up in the order, it's like 35 plate appearances
yeah,
added to your season.
yeah. The bottom of
30. That's like a bat and a half a week. For the love of Christ, Brad, that doesn't take some advanced mathematics degree to know. Batting order does matter.
pretty much.
Usage of bullpen in different leverage situations matters. Playing guys in situations that make sense for their platoon splits matter. Why the fuck are you playing a DH every day with an OPS of 680?
But who's
And
he
you
gonna,
hit him clean up until a week ago.
who are we gonna place him with?
I'm going to cut his ass. I'm going to move Miguel Cabrera to the designated hitter
So-
spot, and I'm going to call up somebody to play third base and move Castellanos across the diamond, and we're going to limp along with that. Because you know who has an OPS higher than 680? Andrew fucking Romine. He can play third base every day.
Then why don't you call Brad?
Because you
Ausmus
know what?
up?
Then your team gets better defensively and on the bases. He has an OPS of 680 and is the worst base runner in baseball. And yet he's out there in the lineup every fucking day.
But it's Victor Martinez. He's the heart and
So
soul of this
fucking
team.
what?
He's not the heart and soul of this team.
No, I'm being sarcastic.
You've run out Alex Wilson in the 7th and 8th inning, despite the fact that he can't find the zone, and if he does, it's fucking batting practice for the last month. Yet you keep running him out there in the 7th and 8th inning in tight games. Guys who have been on fire for the last month. Warwick Sopple, and until today, Chad Bell.
Yeah, Chad Bell got
The
rocked a
only
little
thing
today.
they get is fucking junk innings, mop-up innings. I don't get it. You know what? Justin Wilson, yeah, his first 3 weeks, his closer, Now he's been pretty damn good since. Great.
But you got to get to him first.
You got to get to him.
You got to get to him.
I just don't get it. You know what? Anibal Sanchez, fucking great, man. 3 great starts in a row. Jordan Zimmerman's found out how to pitch again. He finally realized, oh man, I'm not a fastball pitcher. I can't just blow up past people. Being deceptive and and changing up my pitch mix is probably a good idea. Fuck. Until today, great run of starts. 6 in a row, just fantastic. Until yesterday, sorry. Yet you can't You can't hit enough. And you know what, too, Brad, I'm going to give him credit here. He finally at least made an adjustment to the batting order this last week.
It was
You put your top 2 OPS guys in the 2 and the 3 hole. Finally.
Yeah, but
Upton's been batting 3, hasn't he? And then
No, JD. If JD's in the lineup and Upton's in the lineup, JD hits third.
Okay. Well, that was the doubleheader yesterday.
Upton didn't play in either game.
Yesterday?
No.
I thought he played in the first game.
Nope.
no, he's been hurt.
Was he?
hasn't
I swear he played
He's
in the first
hurt,
game.
sick, or they're giving him a mental day off because his last couple weeks have been pretty rough.
Sorry, Dorf. Just one thing here, and it's taken. I mean, you're talking about putting your guys with was the best OPS up at the top of the lineup. It's taken them. It's
75 games.
Yeah, it's taken them until late June.
I can give you the first
to do
15
something
or
like
20
that.
because you know what? At that point, you're not going to make any rash changes, and guys will hit the back of their baseball card. Is at least your thought.
Yeah,
I can understand that. Andrew Romine's had an incredible 2 weeks. Let's hit him third. No, I get that. But the struggle has been real. When Victor Martinez has been healthy the entire year, he cannot elevate or drive the ball. And you're going to hit him fucking cleanup.
how many more years do we have him for?
He's under contract for next season at $16 million. And that's it. Thank Christ.
Jesus, get rid of him now. Just pay him to go away.
You finally are putting your top 2 OPS guys in the 2 and the 3 spot.
Yes.
And your best combination of wheels and on base at the top. Finally. Wow. They're all right-handed, though. So what?
I don't care about righty-lefty.
We don't have a righty left. Our entire lineup is righties.
I know, but that was my Billy Bean thing.
Mikey Matuk's been hot recently.
Yeah, he's been doing.
Let's play him every day. Hallelujah. Dude's hitting like 400 the last month.
Mhm.
With power. Oh, but we're going to keep hitting him 8th. Dude should be hitting 5th.
Or even maybe leadoff. Because we
Yeah,
don't have a leadoff hitter.
Absolutely.
Yes.
He should probably lead off against left-handed pitching.
Mm-hmm.
At least until he's
Ride him until the wheels come off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whatever.
until he's not doing this anymore. Then they don't have any. The thing is, they don't have.
He's played a pretty damn good defensive center field for a guy who can't play center field defense.
They don't have a choice too, other than to do something like that.
They have to at this time.
You know what? It only took him 75 games, but at least it happened.
But the problem though is Dorf is
Too little, too late.
it may be too late.
Oh, it's by far too
Yeah.
late.
Too late.
And the thing is the Tigers have been.
You are 9 games under.
And then you're 5.5 games
Only
out of the
5.5 out.
wild card.
5.5 out of a playoff spot, miraculously. But you have the second worst record in the AL.
Mm-hmm. Tied with the White Sox right now.
Out of all the teams too that should have a sense of urgency when it comes to their season, you would think it would be the Tigers just pulling out all the stops.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? They're all veterans on guaranteed deals. They don't. Oh, whatever. They don't care.
That's what it were. Dorf last
There's no
weekend.
youngsters playing for their MLB lives here.
Last weekend, I think the title of our show last week was "Fuck this team."
Mm-hmm.
This team,
Yeah, sorry I wasn't here.
This team, no, it's fine. This team has no heart, dude. No heart at all. No urgency. No heart.
Nobody plays with any damn fire.
No, they don't, and you have to put some of that on the manager. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
And when Al Avila came down from the front office and said, "Look, June is the month here. If you guys are below 500 come the end of June,
We're done here."
it's yes." And the way that they went out and went about their business in the month of June, that told me everything that I needed to know about these guys playing on this team, of course, with the exception of a few. Anibal Sanchez, you know what? God bless him. The guy offered himself to go down to AAA, fix whatever was wrong with him,
to hang on for dear life,
and come back up if they needed him again. You didn't see Francisco Rodriguez doing something like that.
He was complaining about
he was bitching that he wasn't closing.
Yeah, it's like, well, guess what? How about you not give up a home run every time you throw a ball?
But a lot of these other guys on this team, you know what? No heart. No heart at all. I'm looking at guys like Justin Verlander. I'm looking at guys like Ian Kinsler, or who else can we throw in there? Justin Upton. I mean,
to be honest,
if you guys don't want to be here, then fine.
Okay, I have two people right now off the top of my head that I can think of that are only ones that are actually trying who want it is Michael Fulmer and Alex Avila. Other than that,
Avila's playing for his next contract. Anytime you got a guy in a contract year, he's playing to keep his career alive.
Right.
That's great. Anytime you have a guy on your roster who is not yet arbitration eligible or isn't eligible for free agency yet, he's playing for his major league life. When the core and heart and soul of your team is all veterans on long-term guaranteed deals who has had a long, elevated success, complacency, professional complacency, let's call it that, sets in very, very easily. Very easily. And that's what's happened here. The leadership is stagnant. The organizational philosophy is outdated. And guess what? It's been the same cast of characters at the core for what, 7, 8, 9 years?
You can just see it. You know, obviously, you can look at, especially at Victor Martinez.
Guys are too damn comfortable.
He's just so focused on probably trying to stay healthy and even hit the ball where his leadership skill is. And the same thing with James McCann. He can't stay healthy right now, and he's always been that little fire in the dugout. And then
I would love to see him get in a fight with Jose Iglesias again.
Miguel Cabrera, I love Miguel Cabrera so much. Obviously, you can tell he's battling a little injury, but I think he kind of plays around too much.
Yeah, he's too much of a... Well, he's just a big kid.
Right.
You know what? Take it seriously. It's one thing to be a big kid and keep things loose when the winds are, the winds are coming. Guess what? They're in short supply. Fucking cuss somebody out in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Dress down a teammate who's not playing well. Light a fire. You know what? You can only do that so many times before it's ineffective now. But hell, it's apparent that it hasn't been tried at all by anybody. I would love to see these guys, lost, kind of getting at each other. You know what? It's not the greatest look to do it in public.
But maybe,
you can just
maybe sometimes that will start to spark to do something.
Yeah. I'm veteran player A, and I'm telling rookie B here, who's kind of had a bad week and just doesn't seem to care about it. Hey, bro, that ain't cool. The rest of us are fucking busting our hump here.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. And I would then throw a cooler at the ground and say some, cuss some people.
Kick the bats out from the stand.
Yeah, throw the bats out on the field and maybe cut some sleeves off some jerseys or something. But
dump the bubble yum all over the dugout floor,
and then step on it.
And then
and then apologize to the poor sap who has to pick it up.
And then Michael Fulmer comes up from the clubhouse and slips and breaks his elbow.
Bumgarner is it?
Oh God! Don't say that.
And with all that in mind, since this season is not going anywhere, how about we examine the MLB Network proposed trade? Mark DeRosa, one of the personalities there on MLB Central, proposes a set of 2 trades for the Detroit Tigers, which kind of keep them, it sells their assets this year, but at the same time keeps them kind of able to compete right away with next season. Not necessarily right now, but next season. Those 2 trades were, let's just go through the first one first. First one was the St. Louis Cardinals. Tigers would get second baseman Colton Wong and outfielder Randall Grichuk in exchange for Ian Kinsler and JD Martinez. I do have an article up there on our website, themajors.net.
Detroit.themajors.net.
Sorry,
yes.
Detroit.themajors.net. Gosh. Very fair deal. The only question is why wouldn't necessarily the Cardinals want to do it? They are very, very, very frustrated publicly with Randall Grichuk and his lack of progression as an MLB player. And at the same time, Colton Wong is just kind of the cost of doing business for that. Although Wong is currently on the disabled list, expected back later this week.
But the thing is, how I see it, are the Cardinals willing to eat up some of that money on those two contracts, or are we going to like throw in money?
If you look at it, Wong's on a guaranteed deal that'll pay him about over 3 years what Kinsler gets over the next year and a half.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Cardinals wanting to eat up some, like, because. Oh no, isn't Kinsler on? He has one more year.
He has a club option,
right? Okay, never mind. Then.
He has a club option
Never
next
mind.
year for $10 million, and they're going to play Wong like $7.
Mm-hmm.
So what's 3 more at that point, right?
Right.
And then Grichuk is arbitration eligible, and Martinez is a free agent.
Right.
You know what? You get arguably the best right-handed power bat outside of like Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge in the AL
Mm-hmm.
to join your squad. And a second baseman who's won something that can stay healthy, unlike Colton Wong right now.
Mm-hmm.
And a right-handed bat to balance out your heavily left-handed lineup. And at the same time, now you have a legitimate cleanup threat. You're not hitting Yadier Molina and his 8 home run power in the cleanup spot every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a leadoff guy, so you can now put Matt Carpenter down in the order, because the struggle bus has been full of Matt Carpenter the entire year.
Mm-hmm. He needs to go back down towards the bottom of the lineup to get
He's
his
been
swing
a
going.
great leadoff hitter for
he
last
has
4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah, even though he's not an actual leadoff hitter. That's the thing. He's just been filling in the job and getting the job done.
He's not been he's not a prototypical leadoff hitter.
To be honest, in my mind, he's a good number 2 or 6 hitter.
Yeah, he's a great number 2 hitter.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been miscast. And now, you know what? Now you can put him there.
Yeah, and the thing with Carpenter, he's been bouncing around over the past few years of position plays. Like, obviously, he's back at first base now, whatever.
He blows as a defender.
Right. And then he was at third base, and wasn't he in left field or something like that?
He played left field like once. He played second base mostly over the last couple of seasons.
Okay, so I know he's at first base now, right?
Yes, he is at first base.
And he's not a...
The Cardinals are kicking themselves for trading Matt Adams.
Yes, they are, because that guy is crushing it in Atlanta.
So much that they're moving Freddie Freeman to third base.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Anyway, so that's trade number 1. And before we react to that, we're going to go trade number 2. Trade number 2 is with the Houston Astros. They would get current center fielder Marisnik, prospect Francis Martez, 21-year-old, their number 1 prospect. Has made his major league debut. Hasn't gone well so far, but what 21-year-old usually has a good major league debut. Prospect David Paulino, who actually just got popped for roids since this article was written.
Yep. 80 games.
80 games. But
Jinx.
So what? If you can trade suspended players, I'm not sure if you can. So
I don't think you can trade suspended players.
Ironically, it was actually a Tiger farmhand that was traded in the Jose Veras deal.
Ooh.
Their number 3 guy also recently made his major league debut. Hasn't gone well so far, but you know what? 30 innings. He's got 36 innings, major league innings under his belt with positive peripherals. I'll bet you that'll straighten up pretty soon. And their top positional prospect outfielder Kyle Tucker, who's currently in Double-A, in exchange for Verlander and Justin Wilson, and $8 million over the next 2 years.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would do it both. Why the Astros would do this, you get the top of the rotation pedigree to add with Dallas Keuchel.
And especially think about going into the playoffs, because Dallas Keuchel is on the DL right now, but he'll be back after the All-Star. But I'm just saying, just imagine going into the playoffs with Dallas Keuchel as your number 1 and Verlander's number 2,
and McCullers is your 3.
Yeah.
Look out.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the back end of the Astros bullpen is already the Legion of Doom.
Yes.
Oh, let's throw a lefty that throws 97 in the mix.
Yeah.
Woohoo! I think by the way, you can keep next year for fairly cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Great idea. Oh yeah, Luke Gregerson, you're now the 6th inning guy. Cool.
Yeah.
Have fun. Oh, by the way, Chris Davinsky can pitch once every 3 days for 2 innings and strike everybody out. It'll be great.
Yep.
God, if the Astros have enough healthy starting pitching, you better have a lead in the 4th in the playoffs. Otherwise, you ain't getting it back.
That's true.
Holy crap, the back end of their bullpen is lights out.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's a pretty hefty price. It's a decently young, cheap, semi-everyday player and your top 3 prospects for an aging superstar who makes $28 million and a relief pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. It's heavy. But the Astros are in such a position now that they might just do it. Because you know what? That might be the move that wins you the championship this season.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, I mean, I don't hesitate to say the three of us in this room have offered those two trades as the Detroit Tigers general manager. We do it in a heartbeat.
Yes.
Both of them.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You do have no trade clauses to think about there.
But the thing is, the one thing is, like, with that no trade clause, to be honest, if Verlander was smart enough, he would take
Houston's not Milwaukee.
that. Right. The way that Houston's playing, there's no doubt about it.
I know, by the way, you get to go play with the freaking Murderer's Row.
Yeah. And, like,
The modern incarnation of Murderer's Row.
yeah. There's no doubt about it. Like, you have to, Verlander. But if he wants that...
Alex Bregman is their
if he wants that ring, he's going to do it.
Alex Bregman, a guy that would probably hit second for the Tigers, is their goddamn 9-hitter.
Because you look at, doesn't Verlander only have 2 more years left in his contract anyways?
2 in a vesting option.
Yeah.
It's actually technically a team option that automatically vests with a top 5 Cy Young finish. All that information is in the article.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not that vesting option is not going to kick in.
No, there's no way he's gonna, unless...
He did finish top 5 in the Cy Young this past season. Now, 2 years from now, we'll see. But could happen. Doubt it, but could happen.
Doubt it.
But even so, then it's a $20 million vesting option. You got a guy who just finished in the top 5 of the Cy Young Award. 3 years from now at $20 million. So that's like, what, 15 in today's money? 15 million in today's value? That's a pretty good deal. All right. Last topic of the night. I think, is that everything we got? Want to say about the Tigers? Let's move on to some shooty hoops. Basketball. Should the Pistons... It's a little late now to do a off-season fire sale because you waited till after free agency started, so everybody's kind of made their decision on how they're going to do things this year. Is it time for the Detroit Pistons to say, fuck it, this current crop of guys isn't going to work, or we got to start over? I would argue it is.
No. It's true. Like, you tried with this. This group has been together for, what, almost 3 years now?
Year and a half, you could argue, but I would say the current core, let's call it 3. Well, the Stan Van Gundy era.
Okay, so, and obviously it is not working. It's just not. I think the biggest problem in this, to be honest, is Reggie Jackson.
Absolutely.
There's no heart and soul there. He's supposed to be taking control of the ball, and you could just tell he doesn't care. He just doesn't.
Talk about not caring. I think that would be Andre Drummond.
Well,
But he's the owner's golden boy.
Right. So I believe that Jackson is the biggest problem. Like, if you can get rid of him,
Because the owner still thinks the foundation of every NBA franchise is a great center.
and
Fuck that, it's great guard play.
yeah, and to be honest, the way that Ish Smith played last year,
No reason Ish Smith should not be your opening to starter.
exactly. I think the way he played.
Contracts be damned.
So yeah,
Just look at the damn metrics. They're an average, 28 points better per 100 possessions with Ish Smith on the floor compared to Reggie Jackson?
yes. And then
28 points per 100 possessions.
And Adam and I talked about this last week, how, and you even brought it up before the show, how you think that Reggie Jackson, if he does stay here, obviously if they don't trade him or whatever, if that doesn't happen, that he'll move to the shooting guard, because Adam and I both don't think that KCP is even going to be coming back at all.
No, I don't think
Even if he does, so freaking what? Reggie Jackson is a, $18 million a year player?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is.
KCP's probably going to get a max contract.
What I'm going
That's
to
the thing.
hear me out, though. So what? He's an $18 million six man. Tough.
You're talking about KCP?
No, I'm talking about Reggie Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to move him into the classic J.R. Smith. Here's ball, go score. Don't worry about playing defense.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to play 30 minutes a night. Roll.
He's going to become a malcontent then.
Mm-hmm.
I think you
He
can.
already did it in Oklahoma City.
Yep, and he's going to do it all over again.
Where he was already. Yeah.
So
He was bitching about not playing behind James Harden and Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
So what I like, obviously how I see it, you let him play. Obviously, if you're doing good, you keep it the same. But obviously, if you're not doing so good, you got to get rid of them. You got to get rid of Reggie Jackson.
A great way to fix a malcontent, not satisfied with being the sixth man with 20 minutes or 30 minutes a night off the bench.
You trade him.
Yeah, you trade him.
You bury him on the bench and he doesn't play for a month. You ain't gonna win anything anyway. So what's the big deal?
True.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie.
Don't even put your DNP coach's decision.
I would just much rather just get rid of him and not let him become a cancer.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And not let him become a cancer in the locker room.
Exactly, and then get everybody else going because obviously how him and Andre Drummond are actually pretty close and all that stuff. So it's like,
I don't want that rubbing off on guys like Luke Kennard. I don't want that rubbing off on because you're still looking to develop Stanley Johnson,
which Luke Kennard actually had a pretty good D-League game today. Scored 14 points. So
whatever.
It's not bad. Yeah, exactly.
Summer League, not D League.
Or Summer League.
It's not called the D League anymore.
It's the D League anymore. It's the G League.
I forget about that.
The Gatorade League.
So no, I'm like,
we're gonna have to pay Gatorade now if we don't say it.
God damn it!
Dang it!
All right, who's got a couple bucks we can throw Gatorades away? I've got like a couple ones.
I've got $2 in my car.
I got a 5 and a 20. We got plenty.
I've got some.
We got plenty.
I've got a couple quarters in my cup holder.
Do they take MasterCard?
Do they take Panera Bread gift cards?
What about some salt and vinegar potato chips?
There you go.
It expired like 3 months ago.
How about some empty bottles of liquor? That's 10 cents in some states.
Not in this one.
I know.
I don't know, man. This current group of players isn't good enough.
Look, I'm good with them getting rid of Andre Drummond and Reggie Jackson.
Yeah. Other than that,
I would qualify that as a full fire sale.
Yes.
Okay, then do it. I'm ready to see both those guys go.
Sweet.
You and me both.
Sign me up.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna watch anyway. Woohoo!
I'm still gonna watch them.
They can keep some of the other guys. Like I said, I like Marcus Morris. I like Tobias Harris.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you
now that we got
those
Luke Kennard out there,
I mean, those aren't guys that you build a franchise around. Obviously,
they're nice supplemental pieces.
but they're guys that actually can help your team win if you guys finally get that one guy to build around.
This team is a nice collection of supplemental pieces.
It's true.
You have 7, let's call it, nice third or fourth options. 7 on one team. You should probably have 3, not 7.
I think the guy they just picked up though was it Langston Galloway.
Yeah.
I think that's the indication that KCP isn't coming back.
Yes.
Or it's insurance just in case he doesn't. Before people freak out about the Galloway thing, look at his numbers, look at his metrics. It's a solid fair market value deal.
Yeah, look what he does on defense over a guy like KCP.
Yeah. And the other thing to consider before everybody freaks out, that's so much money for a guy I've never heard of. None of y'all heard of Boban Marjanovic until last year, and that's the same exact contract he got.
Yeah.
Same exact contract.
But he came from the Spurs.
He came from the Spurs bench.
Langston Galloway was part of the DeMarcus Cousins deal too.
Yes.
Was he? So he was on the Pelicans 5 minutes ago.
Yes. Yep. He played. I don't even think he even played like in 7 games.
He didn't play much for Sacramento.
Yeah, no. He was most of his time was obviously when he started with the Knicks, and he had sophomore year was with the Knicks, and then he went to
I can't remember.
Whatever. Mid-20s.
Yeah, he's only 25.
Mid-20s combo guard.
Whatever.
With a nice role player attributes.
Right.
Sweet. Good deal. Not going to win you a ton of games, but it ain't going to lose you any.
Right. And he plays good defense off the bench.
Sweet. And you know what? In limited burn last year with the combination between the Pelicans and the Kings, he was like a 10.5 assist guy.
Mm-hmm.
As a backup guard, 10 and 5 is pretty...
Mm-hmm.
If you can average 10 and 5 as a backup guard, that's pretty damn great.
Yeah, it's okay. Keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Last but not least on the segment, last segment of the night, the cut room floor. Just kind of a couple things we've alluded to already. Justin Verlander lost his streak. 331 consecutive outings with at least one strikeout today. Longest in Major League history.
Well, not everything can last forever, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
Longest streak in Major League history.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Not that matters, but...
Good for him, though. What a streak.
All right, I think that's going to wrap it up, guys. Got anything else you want to add before we close out the show for this Sunday night?
Not really.
All right. As soon as I hear the music come up, we'll sign out here. So, all right. Well, that is going to wrap it up for this 142nd episode of Motor City Uncut, presented by the Major Sports Network. If you like what you heard here, we're going to chill here for a second.
Cool.
Hit us up on Patreon. We do have a Patreon going. It's just patreon.com/themajors. Any sort of monetary support you're willing to give for that subscription service there would be freaking awesome. We do offer a couple perks in the way of merchandise. You can actually, if Adam will turn the camera over to himself, get the front. This is a t-shirt you can get from us. It's pretty freaking cool. You see that? Yeah.
Look to your left.
You get a discount on that for a monthly pledge there at patreon.com, or there's also a PayPal tip jar in the description of our YouTube. So,
Just give us your money.
or hey, you know what? Clicking on the video, watching that ad, visiting our website, and getting, we do have ads on our website. Just viewing those two, that, you know what? That does help us as well. So for Shawn, Adam, I'm Dorf. We'll see you guys next week.